I have a stimulus check update for Wednesday, August 5th. Hi, I'm RJ from hustleabove.com, and I'm happy to report there is some progress being made in regards to the stimulus check. The good news is Senate Republicans as well as House Democrats and the White House are all in agreement on the $1,200 payments again. Now, this is the same setup as the first check, so if you got the first one, you will get the second one. Now, the not so good news is we have children that run our country, and they have a hard time agreeing on everything. So they're still going through all of the details, and I'll go through some of those that are being held up right now. A big sticking point right now is the jobless benefit, the $600 additional payment per week if you're unemployed. House Democrats don't want to back down. Senate Republicans do not want this. The White House has hinted recently that they are okay with going forward with that as long as it means we're getting a deal done. The main thing that Senate Republicans keep pointing to is that they don't want to incentivize people to stay away from the workforce because they're making more sitting at home rather than going back to their job. So Senate Republicans are more so willing to extend it to December, but they're more happy in the $400 range rather than the $600 range. Now, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has mentioned several times about the liability protection. That's for businesses, schools, nonprofits, universities that are open during the pandemic. So protect them from any liability that's associated with keeping open or staying open or getting open soon. Now, at the moment, Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the House Democrats are opposed to this, and that's maybe more, they're flexible, but they may be using this as a negotiation chip that say, we'll give in on this if you give us the $600. And they would consider that a huge win for them and their constituents. So that is something that's definitely everybody's going to want to keep an eye on as these negotiations progress. Another item up for debate on these negotiations is the Paycheck Protection Program, extending that so it can help the most hard-hit businesses during this pandemic and maybe even ease some of those payment plan options. Something that's very promising coming out of these negotiations is both sides, as well as the White House, seem to be very, very cognizant of our children and going back to school and what's needed to be put in place. So there's almost certain to be additional money placed in getting schools safe for return. And as any time when we're dealing with the U.S. government, we always have something that doesn't pertain to what we're trying to get past. The bill is to pandemic relief, getting money into hands of Americans, helping people that are unemployed and getting their children back into school safely. But, they got to put in stuff that doesn't have anything to do with that. Republicans are seeking $2 billion to renovate the FBI headquarters, as well as $30 billion for Pentagon, as well as defense contractors. Now, Democrats are seeking generous federal tax deductions for state and local taxes. These are primarily for states and jurisdictions that have high state and local taxes, as well as bailouts for certain municipalities, cities, states that have been poorly run in the past. So what does the timeline look like for an actual approval of a bill on all sides, as well as sending out those all-important stimulus checks? So the Senate is actually supposed to go on to a recess this Friday for 31 days. And can you imagine if the senators left D.C. without getting a deal done, going back to their hometowns and not getting relief to the American people that they so desperately need? They can pretty much kiss their reelection bids goodbye. So there's going to be a lot of pressure to get this job done and get a deal in place, at least the framework, by Friday, where everybody's agreed upon it, and then everybody can vote on it the next week. So they most likely it hasn't been done yet. Mitch McConnell has not announced this, but chances are that the deal will be done by Friday, and senators will stay around early next week, and at the latest, the following Friday is when this bill will be approved. If that's the case, then Steve Mnuchin has stated that the Treasury Department can get their checks out within a week, and so you can see your checks before the end of August. And of course, this is a crazy, volatile situation where a lot of people are wanting a lot of different things, so things are changing quickly. So it could be moved up. Some people may agree to it quicker, or it could be prolonged. We'll just have to see. I'll be here. Follow along. I'll give you updates. Thanks.